Jillian Mayen here for BTN.com alongside Jon Crispin, taking a look at some of the basketball report cards now that we're partway through the season, almost midway through the season. And Purdue is one of the teams that's emerged as a favorite to win the conference. And when you watch them play, it's easy to understand why. You look at Biggie Swanigan, what he's been able to do, just absolutely dominating, as well as Isaac Haas. Isaac Haas had a little bit of a lull earlier in the season, but seems in the last few games at least to have really emerged as kind of an X factor for the Boilermakers. So now I'm going to throw it over to you, the expert here, of what do you see as the big wins, if you will, for Purdue and the big takeaways from this Purdue team?
Well, I think going back to Isaac Haas, you talk about Isaac Haas as an X factor. Yeah, he's a giant X factor. The thing is, he's really was a go-to guy coming into the season. He's had to figure out his new identity on this team with Caleb Biggie Swanigan being the guy. Those two together have to figure out how to play on the floor at the same time, and it's taken a little bit of time. I really do. I believe it's taken a little time for them to figure it out because Biggie Swanigan goes and gets every rebound. Biggie Swanigan's a little more active. Isaac Haas takes up space. So you do have to change your game a little bit. You also have to respect the fact that you have perimeter players in Carson Edwards and Dakota Mathias who are playing really high-level basketball. Those guys are demanding attention around the perimeter, which makes your job so much easier in the post. I'm leaving out Vince Edwards. Vince Edwards was a guy coming into the season that everybody thought was the best player on the team. He could have gone to the draft, for some think. Now, I think he needed to come back and figure out what position he really is. He thrives as a 4, but he's got to play the 3. When you look at Haas, Swanigan, where does he fall? Clearly a 3. So I think altogether, this team has had to figure out who they are while winning basketball games, and they've done a really good job of it. I did the Villanova game to start the season. And I automatically saw this as a high-level basketball team, a potentially top 10 team. But you can see how they had to figure each other out. You can see that Isaac Haas had to figure out how to be a second, third, maybe even fourth or fifth option at times, while Carson Edwards, Dakota Mathias are more and more assertive. And Biggie Swanigan is Biggie Swanigan, 20 and 20. He's doing it more than anybody in the country. I mean, it's incredible to watch this. I think Matt Painter's done a good job teaching these guys how to be patient and develop into roles.
So they seem to have figured it out in the sense that they are winning these games. You're starting to see them click. But would you say that that's something that could start to waver? That's something that throughout the season, or have they've figured it out and this is going to be where they go? Or is that going to be something that maybe they struggle with through the rest of the season?
I think teams are going to figure out that the way to beat them is to play half-court basketball. You can't outrun this team. They have the depth. They have guards that can come in and shuttle in and still run up and down the floor. And Isaac Haas is playing less and less when they go small. I think they're better when they go small, not to take anything away from Isaac Haas. So I think you got to make it a half-court game. You're not going to be bigger than them. But if you get your defense set, you can get stops in the half court. You can get tough shots. You can get runouts that lead to easy baskets. So they're going to have to figure out how to be a half-court team when they need to be a half-court team, and run and gun when they need to run and gun. So it's a tough balance, but it's something they're going to figure out.
Yeah, you saw that in that Ohio State game. Ohio State was able to get some points on them and get points in the paint, too, in the first half of that game. So certainly something to look out for the Boilermakers. For more Purdue news, highlights, and analysis, head to btn.com/Boilermakers.